Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Previously on X-Men.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun, and we're back talking comics. And if you're happy to see that, or if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, as we talk about comics, TV, play games, talk about life, the world, and everything. And today, we're doing a very specific Gambit comic because I realized that there recently, even, that there was a lot about the Raging Cajun that I didn't know. And he's one of my favorite characters. I'm going to C2E2 dressed as a Dungeons and Dragons version of the character so I can meet Matt Mercer in this really anyway, that's what's happening. And I was gearing up to cover the second miniseries of Gambits from 1997. And I realized that after I quit comics back in like 96, I didn't collect again for 20 years. And in 20 years, there was a lot of things that I didn't know happened to the character. I was reading, it was like I read everything up to like Age of Apocalypse. Right around Age of Apocalypse, at the end of that is when I was out of comics. And then I started reading again in 2016, and I didn't really think about all that history too much. I have a bunch of books that I've bought, but I didn't realize that there was a lot of things that happened and were revealed about Gambit in that time period. Things I didn't even know about because I just wasn't paying attention for a long time. And so there was a few things that I discovered that kind of shook my like how I thought of Gambit, and I needed to know more. And when I did, I was like, holy crap. And so rather than reading each individual issue that's important to this character, they made a series that kind of tells like the origin, like full origin of some of these characters. And Gambit is a very good one for this series because of him being mysterious. And also they, without having to, it's kind of almost like a cliff notes for the character. And normally I wouldn't do that, but I wanted to just have one issue that I talk about and read on here, is not just for everybody else, but for myself, so that I can look and if I ever need like source material or anything for or research that I've already done on the previous character, I can look at some of these videos. And for anybody else who listens or watches the Gambit stuff and maybe doesn't know, like, hey, maybe you didn't read this either or didn't know this either, you can come here and check this video out. And that's pretty much it. And I'll be talking through it, I'm sure, and I'll be discussing what I think about it at the end. But this is kind of like a nice little reference for one of my favorite characters. And so without further ado, we're going to just jump right in and start reading X-Men Origins Gambit, the secret origin compiled together of everybody's favorite Rogue. I think that's always so great that he's a rogue who's in love with Rogue. All right, let's dive right into X-Men Origins Gambit by Carey, Yarden, Roberson, and Fairbairn. Make sure we got the guided tour here. She had that look, vous savez, Straight as a soldier nose in the air. A look that say, who forget the red carpet? I don't want to walk on this dirty ground. And I was admiring that. When I realized there was others watching too, with a different agenda. So naturally I come running in to save her. Didn't even think about it. Didn't have a clue who she was. Belladonna Boudreaux, the little princess of the New Orleans Assassins Guild. Trained in personal combat ever since she could walk. Quicker with a knife than I am with a lockpick. We were 8 years old. Enchanté, mademoiselle. Oh yeah, who are you? And it was love at first sight. A very pretty story, Remy. But stories aside, tell me that you understand what today is. It's my wedding day, father. I understand that much. Then you understand nothing. This isn't a wedding, it's a ceasefire. The feud between the thieves and the assassins is destroying both guilds. Alors, my son, must marry Marius Boudreaux's daughter. Then we are all family. How many times have I got to hear this? As many times as it takes. I'm afraid for you, Remy. You have a romantic streak, a perverse weakness for gallantry. A thief should be pragmatic above all things, not yield to sentiment. Not run to the rescue of imperiled damsels or waste his time buying redemption with random acts of kindness. Acts like saving an orphan from indentured slavery? That was different. Te fa pa, father. Don't worry about it. You're a better teacher than you know. Adieu. Joquet l'amour. You may kiss the bride. X-Men Origins Gambit, Random Acts of Redemption. Chapter 1, New Orleans. So you definitely got the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild. Now, we covered like a lot of this in the original miniseries where he went down there and we dealt with this. This is stuff that I didn't even know about. Like, well, some of this is like seeing the fallout of how he ended up with all these people in New Orleans after him, after the fact, and her brother and everything that had to do with Belladonna in that miniseries. Like, that's all post this. So this is some history that I knew of, but now we're seeing it play out. The Thieves Guild, Jacrash Dusus. I'm butchering this probably. Julian, no. I spit on you, Lebeau, and on your clan. You going to lie there until I go away, Chen? That's the thieves' way, isn't it? You're not fit to marry an assassin. Julian, you endanger our agreement with the Thieves Guild. You will apologize to Remy at once. This marriage is an obscenity. It shames us all. I challenge you, Lebeau, by the Code Duello. You've defiled my sister, but you won't live to defile the name of Boudreaux. The name of Boudreaux I honor for Belladonna's sake. Coward! Manon, I accept your challenge, Julian. And Julian and him fight in that miniseries, you know, and it's basically comes from like his hatred of all this. And he's always had a thing about, you know, anybody and his sister, and it's kind of creepy in a way. Not to first blood, to the death. If that's what you want, you got it, homie. Father Lagrange, could you take care of these for me? I'll be back in a few minutes to sign the register. He gives him cards. Great. Remy, he will kill you. He'll try. I'm not afraid of Julian Boudreaux. But you're afraid of something. I see it in you. There's something building inside me. I felt it ever since Paris. Before that, even, a kind of pressure. Don't know what it means. The guild says you can refuse the challenge. In this one instance, they'll allow it. Oui, Perry, I can't do that. I just can't live in New Orleans Parish after all. There'll be no commissions, no employment for a thief who broke the code. Godspeed, my son. Le bon Dieu te garde. He was trained by Kunsrich. Watch his dagger for an attack in the tierce on your strong side. If this ends with a body on the ground, let it not be yours. At last, I thought you'd escape through the back door, Lebeau, knowing how much you thieves love back doors. Save your breath, Julian. You're gonna be needing it. This guy, he is really like, wow. And it carried over into that miniseries. Then on guard, you worthless piece of garbage. Let's waive the formalities. Because I really don't feel like bowing to you. I'd be too afraid you'd pick my pocket. Ha! You wield your sword like a fishmonger thief. You practically gave it to me. Then let me give you the dagger too. Gah! Then you got the whole set. Wait, what is it doing? Lebeau, what is it? Choom! Oh my God, Remy, my good God, what have you done? It was a fair kill. That's debatable. Our truce is in tatters unless you offer recompense. Father, hear me out. Remy, t'en fais pas, Father. I'll answer for what I've done with my life if necessary. They don't want your life. It might have come to that, but your wife spoke for you and suggested another way. Your penalty will be the lesser one, of exile. So he's being kicked out of one group for something that he couldn't help. His powers manifested in this duel. A great strain, like in a lot of cases, like his powers had been developing and they came out in this moment, which is not a surprise. And now he's being kicked out for it, which is kind of a thing with Remy, of being an outsider and being like kind of booted for sometimes things that, you know, he's done, sometimes these things that are kind of happenstance for him. So exile is kind of a thing that he's used to, I would say. Exile? From the city? From New Orleans? But this would be the first time, I guess. You? You did this? Remy, I meant it for the best, I thought. Rien! Say nothing, Belladonna. A man who takes up with an assassin's daughter. That man gotta have a death wish. Bien sûr. Take me with you. You think that will work? Seriously? Never to see your family again, Cher? Never to take your place in the guild council? I give it a year, maybe two, before you start hating me. Might as well save yourself some time and start now. And so he takes off to live in exile. Chapter 2, Gouffre Saint Bernard. So you think you can help me, or should I look someplace else? That depends. On what? On how desperate you are. You come to me with a very intractable problem. Oui, c'est ça. Probably having heard of my reputation for some dubious source. But you come with a reputation of your own, Mr. Lebeau, the master thief, brilliant and reckless and amoral, who never refuses a commission, even one that the Thieves Guild has officially voted down. That's my business, n'est-ce pas? Arguably, yes, but it makes me wonder exactly what it is you're looking for, or perhaps what you're running away from. Not doing either, homie. A thief got to be pragmatic, that's all. If the price is right, I'll do the job. I got no use for sentiment. Show me. What? Quoi? Your power, your dilemma, show me. No way to show you without. I'm not concerned about the risk. Sweet. I build up the charge inside my own body. Then pass it on to something else, say a playing card. Used to be I could measure the charge to a hair's breadth. Then I started to slip, started to lose control of it. Now it's like this. Boom! Yes, I see the problem. I think we can do business, Mr. Lebeau. So, now after exile, we're finding out that he still is having a hard time controlling his powers, and they're out of control. And so he, being him, the resourceful person, goes looking for someone that he thinks he can help. That's the one. There's a missing piece there, though. I would still say is that how did he find out about Sinister? That would be the one thing I think I would add here is at least a page of him figuring out where to go, or maybe a couple of pages of whispers of the boogeyman, because that would just be a little bit, I don't know, just a little fuller of a story instead of just going hard cut. Here's Mr. Sinister. Here's the deal. This is how they met, and this is what's going to happen. And then everything else, like because of this meeting, so many bad things happened. And I really was like, when I found out that they had known each other before, I was just like, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, holy crap. I had no idea that they were going to do something like this with Gambit. Although it is a post-Claremont decision, I would say. You ever hear of anesthetic, Essex? It has its uses, but I need you awake and aware for this. Cerebral feedback will enable me to locate the part of your brain that controls your power. My aim is to cut away a small piece of brain tissue, enough to stop the neural cascade and bring your abilities back within your conscious control. And I'll still be me when you've finished. There'll be no damage. Of course not. I need you intact, Lebeau, so that you can keep your side of the bargain. That's a lot of money. What does he want exactly? Tell him I do violence, but not sex. Don't know how you found me, Runt, but you got 1 minute before I rip your throat out. Make the most of it. To be frank, I'm not much of a team player, but this is intriguing. Nathaniel Essex, you say? The Nathaniel Essex. I'll hear him out. I'll hear any man out. But I'll walk the first time I hear something I don't like. All right. Yes, I'll come. I'll come. You only had to explain to me. Yeah, I could. I don't mind. I could go with you. Will you give me some money if I go with you? So this is him putting together the Marauders, like giving them the cell to go and meet with Essex to create the Marauders that would then go on to commit the mutant massacre. And it's kind of interesting here. You know, a couple of this is interesting. Like Vertigo being like basically destitute and just being like, I'll do whatever. I'm on the street looking for food, you know, like the and Riptide being looking very like, you know, like he doesn't even need this, you know. He seems like he's pretty well off. And we didn't meet everybody. And then you got Sabretooth, of course, who's just a raving psychopath. But this is just, again, he put this together. He introduced them, or at least he did the legwork for Sinister to find these guys. It's a pleasure to meet you all, my Marauders. I know we're going to do great things together. Gambit, the next phase of this briefing need not concern you, but I have something of yours that I meant to give you. You do superior work, Mr. Lebeau. You've impressed me, and I'm not easy to impress. I done what I was paid to do. Don't need your compliments now. Just need our debt settled, no? This was what was the last. Don't call, don't write. I'm out of this game here and now. As of today, you can't afford me no more. Have faith, Mr. Lebeau, that you will be out when you hear from me that you are out, and that will only be after one more job. What kind of job? Scruples from the great Gambit. I'm shocked. My new associates require your specific talent for insinuating yourself into places where you don't belong. They need a guide, a shepherd. What could be the harm in that? Keep your eyes peeled, Lebeau. Some of these Morlocks got powers, too. Wouldn't want them getting wind of us before we're ready. They won't. Chapter 3, The Alley. So he's leading them right to the doorstep of the Morlocks that they're all about to slaughter. That way. You don't sound so sure. I'm sure. Sabretooth, take point. Place is a maze. No, it's a sewer. What does that tell you about the people who live in it? Desperate? Anything, Creed? Just this one little guy. He didn't give me no trouble. You killed him. Nah, really? That's too bad. 'Cause smashing his head to a pulp was just my way of saying hi. What is this about? What did we come here for? You might want to move that hand, Lebeau, before you lose it. Answer me, Scalp Hunter. I'm warning you. Your part ends here. You've done what you were hired to do. Got us in through the door and took us to where we need to be. Now you can go. No, Grey Crow. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think so. Ugh. So he's having a change of heart. Take him down now. You sure you want to do that, Miami? I'm not a kid and I'm not unarmed. Could get ugly. I guess we'll take our chances. Ugh, I'm getting dizzy. Whoa. All you had to do was walk away, Lebeau. Was that so hard? Just to walk? Kind of explains their bad blood, too. Because I was always wondering, there's some books in the 90s where it was like Sabretooth had a thing against, like, you know, it's easy to pit X-Men against other villains from their roster. But this definitely then kind of gives an extra layer to that animosity that these two have for each other. I'd love to see a Gambit Wolverine versus Sabretooth book. Gonna be hard the next time you try it. Oh, shit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, take your partners for the first dance. No! Nut! Massacre! Not gonna let you. Sinister! Not gonna be a part of this. No, c'est plus pas. Help me, please. My little girl, don't let them hurt her. Take her out of here. I'll take both of you, fam. No, don't. I can't feel my legs. I won't be able to run or to climb. Save her. Save my Sarah. You got a good face, mister. I trust you. I know you wouldn't hurt no one. No, Mommy, no. Go with the nice man, baby. Mommy will see you later. She'll live. Je jure, madame. On my words, she'll live. So while all that death is happening and the X-Men are right on the other side, including Storm, I think, pretty sure, he's ripped up by Sabretooth trying to get one kid out. Hey, are you okay, mister? You don't look too... Holy crap! Stay there. Look after the little girl. Stay there and dispatch. I need an ambulance and a squad car, 144th and Esplanade. Stat! Well, there ain't a call sign for this. I got a guy and a kid, and there's blood all over the place. Guy could be dying for all I know. He looks... Damn it all. All persons must leave the draw when gong sounds. And so once again, it kind of looks like old Gambit had to get out of there, get out of Dodge, and put himself into exile. As we now go to Chapter 4, Cairo, Mississippi. So he's kind of back in his old haunts, but not in New Orleans. And this would be, I believe, where he meets Storm. I'm afraid for you, Remy. You have a romantic streak, a perverse weakness for gallantry. Skakaw! Is that Rogue? A thief should be pragmatic above all things, not yield to sentiment. Nope, Storm. Not run to the rescue of imperiled damsels, or waste his time buying redemption with random acts of kindness. Girls ours. Best you just walk away from this. Forget you were ever here. Yep, and the hounds. Got a lot to forget already, Cher. More than you could ever know. Let's make this a night to remember. Dun dun dun! And that was X-Men Origins Gambit, the secret origin, the secret that I didn't know for a long time, a really long time, up until recently, that Gambit had been the reason. I had known about the depowering thing, but I did not know that, like, Sinister had him lead meet the guys. Like it almost feels like he didn't need to have Gambit do this, but just to have something on him. Like, yeah, he's a thief and it's convenient, but it's like what Sinister always does, right? And it's such a great villain, and it's such a great mystery that I was like so sad for the character because I'm like, he just wanted to be less dangerous, went to the wrong person, made the bad deal, bad choices. I mean, that's what all of us, live with our whole lives, is making bad choices and living with them and hoping every once in a while we make a right choice. But I'm glad that I got to share this bit of the backstory of Gambit. Yeah, like they said, they didn't show you what happened with Storm because that's not part of that backstory. That's all leading up to his first appearance in X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 266. And so, anyway, I mean, I think it's great, and I can't wait. And when I'll probably be reading a lot of that stuff, like the trial of Gambit and things like that, that like lead him to being exiled from the X-Men for a while after they find this out. But look out for the X-Men 97 Gambit miniseries coming up on the channel. This was just a little preview for that. So don't stop reading comics, folks. Be good to each other, and I'll see you in the next video, bub. Bye.
The name is Gambit. Remember it.
Ba 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 bum. Ba bum 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 bum.